Holy shit, I should be betting on fights. UFC 194. Before I get into it, I'll put a link in the description box where you can go to my Instagram page and you can see the full main event. You might be asking yourself, why should you be betting on fights? Well, for me, I said it was going to be a third round knockout of, I'll put it this way. If you guys haven't watched the full fights, don't watch this video because I'll put a link in the description box where you can see the full fights. But for the people who have seen the fights, I'll put it this way. We're going to start off with Gunnar Nelson versus Damian Maia. And I thought Damian Maia would have a good chance to win this fight. But I thought Gunnar Nelson would be able to win because he has a better stand-up game. And he's an overall more well-rounded fighter. He was shut down on his ground game for the whole fight. He was just getting ground and pound, getting put in submissions, getting taken out of submissions. And then you had Raul Romero versus Jacare, and I was like, okay, I think Romero's gonna win this fight. And then Jacare started coming back, and Romero really brutally backfisted him. And I think that's the reason why he won the fight, is by the brutal backfist, and he won the fight. But that dude is so jacked and so ripped. My God. You see this dude, he's like a superhero. And then you had the fight that I was predicting, and everybody was like, well, Chris Weidman's going to win. And I thought Luke Rockhold would win, and especially I picked the third round. So Chris Weidman is starting to win, starting to beat him up, and I thought, okay, he's going to win. I was like, damn, Chris Weidman's going to win because Luke Rockhold was gassing out. But in the third round, he threw this weird spinning back kick, Chris Weidman did, and it looked very sloppy. Luke Rockhold grabs him, slams him to the ground, and starts landing punch after punch after elbow, and Chris Weidman is just turtled up like this, bloodied, and I was surprised that Herb Dean didn't stop the fight. I mean, if it wasn't a title fight, would he have stopped the fight? If it was another fighter, would he have stopped the fight? But I guess he let it go on because Luke Rockhold and Chris Weidman were in a major title fight. But saying that, guys, I think Luke Rockhold won the fight in the third round because he didn't look that great once he came out in the fourth. But Luke Rockhold, he said it like it was. When I'm on top of you, grounding and pounding you, nobody can hang and bang with him. And Chris Weidman was man enough to say, it wasn't my night, I'll be back, and we'll fight another day. And then you go into the main event, the fight everybody's been wanting to see, the Conor McGregor fight versus the greatest featherweight champion of all time, the 10-year undefeated fighter in Jose Aldo Jr. This dude is a beast. And you look at Conor McGregor coming there, he's literally dancing around the cages, getting his groove on, and nobody sees Jose doing that. Jose looks like he's kind of a little nervous. Maybe the mindset of all the shit talking that has been thrown at him, how much media he's been doing, how much hype was around this fight. Maybe he was just a little bit too in the moment, like he wasn't used to this. Because yes, he's been in fights, but never this magnitude. And he comes out and throws a punch like this that hits Conor, but Conor's punch lands straight. His straight left lands clean on the button, and Jose Aldo falls to the ground, and then he lands a couple hammer fists on him. And he does say this, that power and basic technique outdo speed and power. And he clearly knocked him out. And Jose Aldo at the end of the fight was like, that's bullshit, son. That wasn't a fight. We need a rematch. And Joe Rogan goes, that was a fight. You lost. And he looked at him like, what are you talking about? You don't fight. It's the truth. once you get knocked out, you don't want to really take it as I lost. You don't want to come and go, yeah, I lost that fight. I lost. He didn't. He was a sore loser. Like, that's bullshit. I shouldn't have lost. I wasn't knocked out. And Conor was like, I told you, one punch knockout. And now what are all you guys going to say now? Conor hasn't fought anybody tough. Conor ain't nobody. He's fought nobodies. And this isn't a fixed fight, ladies and gentlemen. Conor hasn't fought nobody. Well, he fought the baddest man on the planet, and he knocked him out in 13 seconds. So, will they have an automatic rematch? I don't think they should have an automatic rematch the way this fight went down. I really don't. It's going to be the same thing with Holly Holm's fights, Ronda Rousey. It's going to go down the same way. Ronda Rousey is going to come out, get beat down. Same thing's going to happen to Jose if they fight again. I think Frankie Edgar deserves his title shot. Conor's not hurt. They should make this fight very soon, and they should get that shit rolling. Conor McGregor, Frankie Edgar. I'm predicting that fight to be way more challenging for Conor than what Jose's was. But at the end of the day, we got two new champions, and like I said, people are saying I should be betting on these fights because I predicted two guys to win it. Literally, I picked the Luke Rockhold third round. I was saying if Jose Aldo was going to win, it was going to be a devastatingly brutal knockout in the first round. And I said if it's going to be Conor winning, he's going to win in the third round due to the gassing out of Jose Aldo. I wasn't expecting a 13-second brutal knockout. I didn't even see I turned away from the TV for a second. I turned back and all I see is they're like, oh my God, Jose is out. I'm like, what? So I watched the replay and I'm like, holy shit, he landed that clean. And if you land a clean shot right in the button, that's how you knock someone out. You just go like that. I'm not doing it straight because my mic's there, but you go like right there, boom, it was clean. Conor's a powerful dude, very powerful, and he moves differently than other fighters, and he's has the reach advantage. That's one thing people weren't looking at. People weren't looking at this fight saying, well, Jose hasn't fought in like 14 months. They weren't saying that. And Conor fought like 4 months before this, so he was still fresh. So as always, I'm Trevor. Remember to rate, even if you hate, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think of this fight.